What's the worst way HR tried to mess with your final paycheck? When I finished my engineering degree, I was already working as an intern at a large consulting company. They offered me a full-time position, and since I needed something stable while looking for a better role, I accepted it. The project I joined, though, was a mess from day one. The client was always annoyed because everything was late. Our project lead was a genuinely nice guy, but had almost no understanding of what we actually did, and he constantly panicked whenever something didn't match his expectations. The work itself was dull, repetitive, and barely provided any room to learn anything new. Some teammates were great people, but others did the absolute minimum, and sometimes even less. Their unfinished tasks often ended up on my desk because deadlines didn't care about who slacked. The turnover rate was so high that even though I had been there for only 6 months, I was considered one of the experienced members of the team. Still, despite the chaos, they treated me decently on a personal level, so it wasn't all terrible. 2 months after signing my new contract, I finally found a job that felt right. Better pay, better benefits, and actual opportunities to grow. The interviews went smoothly, the offer came through, and the start date was set for the next month. I was excited to move on. In my country, leaving a job usually requires giving a 15-day notice. Since it was my first time switching jobs, I reached out to HR to ask how it worked. They confirmed the 15 days and didn't mention anything about labor days or special conditions. Another important detail, once you give notice, the company can decide to end your contract early. If I told them too soon, they could technically let me go the next day, and I'd lose an entire month of income. So I waited, planning to give my notice around 17 days before the start date at my new job. That way, even if they ended things early, I could still secure at least half a month of pay. When the day arrived, I called HR to make it official. They tried to convince me to stay, but once I mentioned the salary and conditions I'd be getting at my new company, they didn't argue. Then HR said something that threw everything off. All right, we'll process your request. Your last day will be October 1st. You will be deducted 6 days of salary. I was confused and asked why. You needed to give us 15 labor days of notice. That's company policy. I reminded him that we had specifically talked about this before, and he never mentioned labor days. He answered confidently that it was always labor days and acted like he couldn't believe I misunderstood such a simple thing. The longer we went back and forth, the more I felt like he was trying to make me doubt what I heard. I even offered a simple solution, using my 6 leftover vacation days to cover the difference. He immediately rejected that too. Company policy. Again, it felt like a dead end. HR was acting unhelpful, indifferent, and completely unwilling to accept that they hadn't given me the correct information in the first place. I told him I would look into my options and call back. Later, I opened my contract to see if there was something I missed. That's when I found the detail that changed everything. The contract I signed included a 3-month probation period. During this time, the company could end the contract at any moment without needing to give a reason. I searched online to confirm the rules, and I found exactly what I hoped for. Employees had the same right. If you were still in the probation period, you could leave at any moment with 0 notice required. I had only been working under the new contract for 2 months. That meant I was still in probation. That meant I could walk away instantly. No deductions, no conditions, no penalties. I called HR again, and this time, I didn't even try to hide the satisfaction in my voice. Hi, it's me. I just checked my contract. Since I'm still in my probation period, I can leave at any time without penalties. So if I wanted to leave right now, like at 12:39, that would be allowed, correct? Silence. Long, uncomfortable silence. Then HR answered, suddenly sounding much more flexible. We can probably arrange for you to leave right before October 1st if that's what you prefer. Suddenly, company policy wasn't so strict. Suddenly, everything they said earlier wasn't so important. Suddenly, they were willing to help. It's amazing how quickly the tone changed once they realized I wasn't trapped. By the end of the day, everything was settled exactly how I wanted. No salary deductions, no issues, no problems. HR had gone from stubborn and dismissive to cooperative in less than a minute, all because I read my contract carefully. And at 12:39, when I hung up the phone, I felt like a huge weight had lifted off my shoulders.